Jarell Miller pops dirty for a third time, failing a third drug test, taking 3 different substances. The fight with Anthony Joshua is off. I know this is a bit late, but here's my video. Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching Rem Star Says So. I'm a little bit late to the party, but fuck it, here we go. So Jarell Big Baby Miller has popped dirty for a third time, and if there was any doubt about this fight ever having an inkling of coming back in, it's done. The first time he popped dirty for something called GW1516, which is basically supposed to improve your endurance without exercising. That's clearly just something really fucking bad, because, you know, imagine if you're banging gym and you're literally like improving your endurance and so on and so forth, and this is just taking you to a whole new level. Then he popped dirty for whatever, some kind of anabolic steroids or something, and then the third time he popped dirty for another kind of steroid. This time there is no doubt about it, because the third thing that he's popped dirty, you can't ingest it, it has to be injected. So, you know, there's no doubt in the mind. Since the third test came back negative, Jarell Miller has put up on social media and somewhat of an apology, sort of apologizing to the fans, his friends, his family, all of his supporters, saying that he messed up. My thing is that Big Baby Miller, he sort of accused AJ of juicing the whole time, which I believe he probably is, but the difference is Big Baby Miller, he said it exactly how it is. He said that AJ has got TUEs. For those of you who don't know what a TUE is, that's a therapeutic use exemption. That means that, you know, whatever drugs testing authority or whoever it is has given you permission to take whichever anabolic steroid or testosterone or whatever it is, and when you take your drugs tests, you will not fail off of that. I think there's a strong chance that AJ probably is on TUEs. I mean, when you look at the size of him when he came into the game, what, 4 or 5 years ago, 2013, I think he made his debut, and look at him now, like, you know, it's a bit crazy for the amount of size that he's packed on in such a short amount of time. So I definitely wouldn't be surprised if AJ has got certain exemptions to sort of juice up on the steroids and whatever testosterone and other bullshit that Jarell Miller says that he's on. Also, Jarell Miller's not the only person to say that AJ's got TUEs. There's a recent sort of interview with Dillian White on Boxing Social, and he also says that AJ's had TUEs, and says that AJ's had them for a very long time. So, you know, maybe AJ is juicing, but at the end of the day, if he's legally juicing, there's not much that you can do about it, apart from maybe just refuse to fight him if you know that he's got certain exemptions that nobody else has. But what can I say? Jarell Miller, he's a fucking idiot, mate. Jarell Miller is the biggest fucking Toby jug I've ever seen in my life. This guy had the lottery ticket. All he had to do was go to the shop and cash it in. He was guaranteed $6.5 million. That was his base salary. And then I believe he was going to get rumored to be about 15% uplift on the pay-per-view buys, as well as whatever it done on the gates and merchandise. Let's not forget this fight was going to be pay-per-view in England, and I believe it was pay-per-view in Australia, New Zealand, and maybe a couple of other countries here and there. So, you know, if he was guaranteed 6.5 mil with a 15% uprise, we could have been looking at Big Baby Miller taking home a salary of, who knows, maybe like 10 million in total, something like that. But what is he taking home now? Nothing. It's nuts. What can I say? Big Baby Miller, he's really fucked up on this occasion. You know, fighting Anthony Joshua would have been like winning the lottery for him. His family would have been pretty much secure for a very long time, if not life. And, you know, maybe he could have won that fight. I don't think he was going to. In fact, I made a prediction saying that AJ was going to take him out sometimes between about round 6 and 9. Because, you know, I always liked the fact that Big Baby Miller had a great engine. Well, I guess we know why. Because of GW1516. Why a guy who weighs 315 pounds could keep coming forward, keep throwing that many punches. I always thought it was strange. But, you know, you always do get those sort of anomalies. Those physical guys, you know, Deontay Wilder, 212 pounds, puts down Tyson Fury twice. A guy who weighs 40 pounds more than he does. I think he was about 35 pounds less than Luis Ortiz when he fought him and knocks him out. Like, there are anomalies in sports, and maybe in my mind I just thought that Jarell Miller was one of them. Maybe in America, unless you're part of the WBC's clean boxing program, which he's not, maybe American boxers just aren't tested as thoroughly as they should be. But then again, I don't know if British boxers are. All we ever know is like people that enter into like VADA testing when they sign up for that. But who knows? Who knows? Like, nobody knows. I don't know how often boxers are tested. And the only people that are tested all year round are WBC clean boxing program fighters. So if you're not in the WBC clean boxing program, likelihood is that you're not being tested all year round. And, you know, you might be cycling, which is another thing, because, you know, you can take a certain amount of steroids and then get it out your system by the time your next fight comes. But that's a different story for a different day. A lot of people are coming with absolute bullshit, especially like channels like Boxing with Ade saying that he should be banned for life. No, he shouldn't. You should not ban somebody for life. Canelo Alvarez had a 1-year suspension with had a 1-year ban, and 6 months of that was suspended. So he basically missed one fight. If Canelo Alvarez could take clenbuterol and miss 6 months worth of boxing, it should be the same. Like, they should give Big Baby Miller a 1-year, 6 months suspended sentence. So, you know, in 6 months' time, when he does his tests, if he comes clear, he can get back in the ring. I don't understand why certain people want to start saying, like, yeah, he should be banned for life and this and that. It needs to be a clear-cut sort of thing for everybody. So if it's a 1-year suspension for popping dirty, it's a 1-year suspension. Just because you're up AJ's ass, yeah, doesn't mean that you should automatically start saying, oh yeah, this guy should miss it. Like, at the end of the day, the biggest thing that he's missing out on is $6.5 million guaranteed plus upside. So what are you banning him for life for? Let's say, for example, if you're a regular guy working a regular job and you went to work tomorrow and your company decides to randomly drug test you, even if they've never done that before, you go and piss in a cup and, you know, you might be getting high after work, or you might be sniffing some lines on the weekend, or whatever it is. If your drugs test comes back dirty, should you now not be able to earn for the rest of your life, or for 5 years? Or, do you know what I mean? It's absolute bollocks if you ask me. Like, yes, he deserves to be punished, because you're talking about two people that are going into the ring and trying to immobilize each other. Like, realistically, what is boxing? Especially heavyweight boxing. When you think about it, you are trying to pummel somebody's head in until they can't make the count of 10, or a referee stops the fight, or your team throws in a white towel. Like, you are trying to knock somebody's head smooth off. So yes, he was trying to get an unfair advantage. But to say to man, look, this is your career, you cannot do it for the rest of your life, it's fucking bullshit. I don't give a shit who it is. I don't care which channel wants to come at me, bro. Like, realistically, you cannot stop a man from earning. This is man's career. Yes, he deserves a punishment. Yes, he deserves a big fine. But I think 1 year is perfectly fine. Whether it's 1 year suspended or 1 year total. The likelihood is Jarell Miller is never going to get an opportunity like this again. Because, you know, even if he gets himself into mandatory status, that mandatory status won't be 6.5 mil, because he'll get 25%. So, you know, he's fucked up. But saying to man like straight, like, yeah, lose your license, that's fucking bollocks. Like, I don't care. Like, a year's suspension to me is fine, because for a whole year, You know, he's not going to be earning money in the ring. I don't know if he has any other business interests, and if he's got any sponsorships, they're most likely going to drop him as well. So, you know, he's going to be fucked for a year if his money isn't right and his savings ain't together. But, you know, that's my thoughts on it. What do you think? Do you think that he should get a year, 6 months, less? Let's not forget, Canelo Alvarez only missed one fight. He was only really suspended for 6 months. What do you think should happen to Big Baby Miller? You know, there's been other people that have failed drugs tests in the past, and they haven't been banned for life or 5 years or all that other shit. So let me know your thoughts. Sorry guys, this is a little bit heartfelt, because yes, he's fucked up, and yes, he was trying to get away with it, and yes, he's been caught. But at the end of the day, you need to be able to earn money, and you need to be able to provide for your family. So, you know, banning somebody for life when this might be the only thing he knows and the only thing he's good at doesn't make any sense. Anyway, drop a comment, guys. Hit like, hit subscribe. That's the end of the show, because Remstar says so.